This is Sniper Elite 5. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So we're diving into this fifth main entry in the Sniper Elite franchise. What are we getting here on Series X? Well, it's 4K, dynamic 4K resolution at 60 FPS with HDR and VRR support. The game is, well, silky smooth, runs really fine, and to me looks quite great. I think this really is a nice upgrade overall for the game, its engine, and its technology, and I had a delight playing this. So you get a number of campaigns here. Well, basically you get, I guess you would say, 8 full levels, and a fun little extra level here or there, and as always with these types of titles, there will be DLC that expands the scope of the campaign further, and that's just kind of something you would come to expect from this particular franchise. And that's fine because it's great that they do excellent support to add more content to these games and continue to make them a delight. So what exactly are we doing here? Well, there's a full campaign that you can enjoy where it is 1944. You've got a bit of a French campaign going on here. You can play alone or with another player. And then maybe a third player thrown into the mix. That's right, things get a little bit weird because there's this new cool invasion mechanic. So you can matchmake as someone invading, or you can just fend off an invader. So it's an extra little, I guess you would say, gameplay mechanic that I think adds a lot of variation to the game if you want a little bit more of, say, a specific challenge, because you'll just be playing around and there'll be this other player hunting you, and then you could turn this mechanic off too. If you don't want that, you don't have to play with it. You could turn the mechanic off, and you kind of can use these like phones in the game to sort of find out where each other are, and it's a fun little cat and mouse type game. There's also a mechanic of discovering new things within the world. So you can go and you can find new spots for when you replay the game that you can enter and start the match from these spots. So it seems like they're almost going towards a more Hitman-esque approach, and I really like that. In all honesty, it would be really, really cool if they could push that even further and maybe have a type of setup where, hey, you know, you can set up your own little contracts and stuff for people. I think that would be a lot of fun to do and really, really dynamic for the gameplay. So this is a stealth-based game, and I know, whoa, you're not using any stealth at all. Nope, just showing off some action and some gameplay. You know, I just want you to get an idea of how gnarly this actually can be, because this franchise really is intense. Like, it is really, really violent. The X-ray shots are phenomenal. And that system's been upgraded too, so your X-ray shots are even crazier, and I think that's great. But yes, this game is definitely meant to be played with a stealth attitude. Don't go around just shooting people. I mean, you can do the run and gun. My situations always devolve into some kind of crazy firefight. But, you know, you can play this in complete stealth, and you get like a kind of ranking at the end of every campaign mission, where it's like, hey, how stealthy were you? How did you play this run? And I would suggest doing saves, because you could save the game at any point. There's a nice photo mode, which is pretty cool. So you could take some dynamic shots of your player with his eyes closed. Good old Karl's back, you know, gonna have that iconic lead character present in this one. And it's just got some really neat upgrades and settings. I guess also going here, you get some different game options. You can see your playtime. There's collectibles on every map. There's different difficulties if you want challenges. There's a new skill system where you unlock skill points as you play. You can take a look at the map, and there's main objectives. Then there's usually like a kill objective. And then there's like secondary objectives that you might discover as you play. And I think that is just really, really cool. The fact that there is so much complexity to this experience. We're going to show off a little bit of the stealth mechanics. So when you get close to people, there's like a white bar that fills, and that's kind of an interest bar where they're like, huh, is there something there? Once they get to yellow, it's like, okay, there's definitely someone here, I'm going to check this out. And then red, it's like, okay, you're dead? Not just kidding. It's a firefight situation is the red. And that's also how you tell where people are. So you can see, oh, they think I'm over there, I'm over here. You could sort of use the cover to blend in. You can kind of move in between different spots, and you can be more hidden. It's very, very neat. And the AI, it's not dumb. Like, sometimes it's a little too smart, but like it's not a dumb AI. It definitely knows what's up. For the most part, it's actually quite funny. Oh, did you need that? And seriously, these X-ray shots, that was a bit casual. There are some pretty crazy ones, that is for sure. I am not doing too well here, guys. I am feeling the pain. So outside of the campaign, and we'll go back to talking about the story and everything like that, but I do want to talk about the other modes in case you think I'm focusing maybe a bit too much on the actual, like, you know, just the campaign itself. But there's a survival co-op mode, which has a few maps. I would have liked a few more levels, but it is similar. When I actually look back at Sniper Elite 4, just to make sure it is similar gameplay-wise, how much content they had at launch. So that one, you're kind of, it's a little bit different, the survival. This time around, you are kind of like moving objective outpost to objective outpost. And by doing so, you are protecting these positions over... Why can't I shoot? What? Huh? Anyways, you are protecting these position posts. And... oh geez, there's a lot of enemies this way. I am bleeding out. These positional posts, and they can get destroyed, and that can make it so you can't get ammo and everything like that. It's just like a really neat kind of gameplay mechanic on top of everything else that we've seen in this franchise. So it's kind of a fun thing, and you can do that with like 4 players. You can work together. You know, you could do it solo. There's solo missions. That's an option too. Okay. And then past that, if you don't want to do, you know, the cooperative mode, which is the survival thing, there's also a competitive multiplayer where 16 players can face off, and again, a few maps. And all the maps are kind of taken from campaign levels, but I mean, these campaign levels are really, really dynamic and large. Like, there is a lot of density to this environment. Very, very well done, I think. I think these environments look great. I really do like the scale of them. I think for, you know, sort of almost a AA offering, they've really done a great job on expanding the scope of the setup and the scenarios. And while they are, like, open, they're not necessarily fully open world. They definitely do send you in some challenging and dynamic ways. Like, you're going to have to actually really think about what you're doing when you are moving through this world. Like, it is not an easygoing time. Some spots are kind of more linear than other spots, and they will actually really make you think. Okay, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Do I need to make a save? You know, how do I do things? And there's also the element of kind of sound, right? Like, when the little bars were staticky on the screen there, that will let you know, hey, my sound is going to be muffled. Like, the enemy isn't going to hear me when I'm doing my stuff. And I think that is fantastic. And then there's sirens that will kind of put everybody into high alert, which is a bit of a problem. They've really done a good job of upping the experience in really, really interesting ways that I think are fun, rewarding, and challenging. And there's just so much depth and scale to these environments. Like, just like the size of this map and stuff is just absolutely fantastic. And like I said, there's good replay value as you try to do challenges in different ways. So with that depth, we're going to show off another level here, because I think that would be a fun change. So mission failed, and then you can just, like, and the loading is like instant. You know, you could do your last checkpoint. But we're going to leave the mission, and we are going to pick a different map setup or a different match. And I just kind of want to show off a little bit of the process behind how you get into that. So again, everything loading-wise is really, really good. We are going to do, I think, Occupied Resistance is another fun one. It's the second map. I don't want to show anything too late, because there's a bit of a story to this one. So you can find workbenches in the world to use, or at the beginning, you can customize your loadout. There's multiple different loadouts, and you can really, really change up your weapons and really personalize your guns with different iron sights, and you can unlock different ones by doing different missions and finding different secrets. You change like the muzzles, and you can change this across the experience. Like multiplayer has different skills, multiplayer has different perk setups, completely different experiences that you customize and you tune to your particular preferences. And I think that's fantastic. And get some different gun. I would like some more colored gun skins, but usually with DLC they add a lot of that stuff. You'd be surprised how great support these kind of games get. Seriously, they do a great job. But You know, you get a variety of different weapons you can choose from, secondary, primary, and then customizing them in different ways, which is great. Your third, your kind of handgun or whatever, and then you have different items. So you could be like, okay, I've got 6 slots. You know, do I want decoys? Do I want modern mines? Do I want TNT? Do I want another bandage? You know, stuff like that. I load up on bandages so I can be a little bit more savage is the biggest thing. Oh, I'd love to get the satchel charge. Well, I've completed all the missions. I'm surprised the satchel charge isn't unlocked for me. And then the skills, which we kind of showed off, and you get skill points, and you can unlock different things such as more steadier hands, swift hands, extra health, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, they're fun, smaller things that will improve your character so you're more deadly. And then there's a bunch of different characters you can have. Marie's here, Monica. Let's throw Marie in, even though we love our main character there. Let's give Marie a whirl, who has a very prominent role in the story in this one. And then your starting location, so you can unlock different spots to start if you'd like to. Different difficulty tiers, which we mentioned. Change the overall difficulty, but then go in depth. Is like, you know, is the sniping too hard for you? Is the combat too hard? Is the tactical stuff too hard? Make your choices. Start the match, and you're good to go. So I would say that there is a well-rounded amount of content in this. I would have liked a bit more variation within the multiplayer maps and the survival maps, but at the same time, this is a chunky campaign. There are really, really well done setups. The cinematics, a little, you know, a little old school, but keep in mind, again, this is more like a AA experience, and I would say this is a nice step up from what we've seen with Sniper Elite 4. The presentation, the quality, the scope, the goals of this one, much, much improved. I really, really did like that. And we're going to do a fun thing here where we're supposed to talk to this guy, but I'm going to leave and he's going to be all, like, sad about it. Rude. Yeah, typical. But, actually, you know what's funny is I am Marie, and that is Marie right there, too. Double Marie! Anyways, so you can have fun with different characters and stuff, and that's across the experience, like multiplayer and whatnot does that, too, where you have different character selections. So I would say, you know, I think the multiplayer's fun. There's a few different game modes you can do. I think the survival mode's engaging. You can play a lot of that. My big thing is, hey, I would love if... Is that a ball shot? I would love if there was some more maps. But at the same time, I'm totally cool with what we got. I think what we have is fine. I think it's enjoyable. Is that an actual achievement there? Anyways. Oh, that was an achievement. It was kind of actually my goal, because I've done this every other time, was to incapacitate them, so like down them, and then another player would come out of the barn, and then I could shoot this little gas can there, and then I could have got a nice double kill. But I'm kind of happy with the setup there for what that was. So yeah, the campaign, which is to me the main focus of this, is very well done. Every map could take you an hour, hour and a half, maybe less, maybe you're really fast. You can maybe do them in 20 minutes, who's to say? It depends on how you go through the levels. Do you go fast? Do you go stealthy? Do you take your time? Do you do the secondary objectives? Do you look around and try to find all the secrets? Because your approach will dynamically change how long it takes you to play. Like, I'm pretty aggressive, I move pretty fast through these types of games. So I really try to do them quickly. And it really depends, like, hey, do you want to be really stealthy and, you know, kind of like prone around and take out each soldier with stealth? Because you can, like, stealth slash people. Or are you someone that's more, I don't want to shoot things? Like, again, it's a stealth game to a high degree. Like, I may be kind of running around shooting and gunning things, but that really isn't the most effective strategy in taking out your enemies, and you will have a lot of problems with that. Oh, damn it, I wanted to get down there so I could do an actual close-up assassination on this guy. So it really does, you know, change quite a bit how you approach the game and how much game time you'll get out of it. But I think it's a pretty chunky campaign. I think it offers a lot of unique combative experiences. I think you can have a lot of fun with it. You can booby trap enemies, carry them. You can replay levels to find other secrets, do other challenges. It's just a very rewarding and well done experience that does actually change up a little bit of the themes and the goals of the Sniper Elite series in some fun and interesting ways. I really do like the small adjustments to gameplay and techniques. the improvements to the visuals and the world and the style of it. And I think we've actually got something really special here, and it's very, very well done, engaging, exciting, and challenging. And that invasion mechanic is actually quite a lot of fun. It genuinely is neat. Like, it could be annoying when you're trying to actually do a mission properly, and it's like, oh, there's another person after me. But if you are looking for something that's a little bit more dynamic and a neat twist, I think having that invasion setting on is fun. I'm sort of hoping that they do embrace an even more Hitman-esque style in the future, because I think if you come in here and you set it up where it's like, hey, you can replay levels with different challenges, maybe set up challenges for others to do, or yourself even, I think that really could take this franchise in that like next level. But for now, this is really fun. It is engaging, it's enjoyable, you just get to go around sniping some of the worst enemies out there in history, having a blast doing so, and it's fun because it's puzzle-like. As I said, it's very open in terms of scale, but you're very much forced to go into specific areas and figure out how you get the job done. And I find that so intriguing that it's like, okay, how should I do this? Do I want to go down the middle bridge? Do I want to sneak around to the side? Is there like a hidden avenue I can take where I might get an advantage? Oh, I'm not able to go that way. How do I get around to this spot? And I think that's really, really quite neat. So physics have been improved. Traversal's been improved. There's these really cool zip lines they've added. You know, your guy's got all these one-liners. I think it's a really neat campaign with a different mission and a different goal. And it's just something that is quite unique to this franchise, is they keep coming up with these interesting war scenarios and they mix it up. Like, it's a formula to me that really isn't broken, and I can't wait to see really where they go next with it and what kind of crazy new adventures we have down the road, because I always have fun diving into these Sniper Elite games. They're always intriguing. They might be, you know, semi-similar in terms of scope, but they are always a fun challenge, and I always look forward to seeing, hey, what did they do next? I was trying to go for the collateral, and it just didn't work out. But like, these X-rays look so cool. I love that this just gets more and more crazy with every single release. Like, just the nuts mechanics of doing those crazy X-ray shots. But usually use this stealth mechanic to like kind of stab them and then get the kills going on. Hello there. And of course, if you really, really want to play all strategically, you can like take bodies and like throw them places and stuff. Which is incredibly tough. So there's a scenario though where it's kind of like a tougher guy where you can get into like a melee fight, and if you just keep spamming the melee button, you'll just keep like clashing and hitting each other. It's kind of funny. Nothing really negative about that, just something I wanted to highlight. But I'd say overall this is quite fun. It's dramatic, it's intense, it will give you a good challenge, you will have an enjoyable time with the campaign. The scope of it feels similar to Sniper Elite 4, but I would say that the campaign is much more ambitious here with very, very unique different levels. Some of the city levels that you go into are incredibly detailed in terms of the rubble and the different buildings and the scale of it. Really, really quite impressive. And I really wonder where they will kind of take things going forward. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to maybe get over there where he's not going to notice me. And don't worry, there is some suspension of belief in regards to some stealth stuff so that you can have a fun, balanced time. But if you need to make it really hardcore and difficult for yourself, obviously those choices are there. So Sniper Elite 5 is a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good advancement over what's come in the past. I think you can have a good time with it. I think you can have different setups with it. I think you can roll through the campaign and maybe even go back and play, you know, a little bit more afterwards. That's for sure. And if you don't want to just play the campaign, you can do the invasion thing, mess with other people, or be messed with. Past that, you can do the survival co-op, which I think is fun. And then you can also do the competitive multiplayer, which I think you can have a good challenging time with. I just hope that, and they do usually deliver on this, more content, more maps sooner than later, and I think the basis here is actually really good and a great time for you to play alone or with others in many different ways. And that is Sniper Elite 5.